Good morning, everybody. Richard here from SoDak Motorcycle Blog. We got some snow overnight, and honestly, it's going to be a cold and weird weekend, cold weekend anyway. So this weekend, we have a box full of bike parts. We've got all kinds of stuff in here. We got some 12-volt outlet for the front pocket. We got 12-volt for the trunk. We got a 6-foot audio extension cable for my XM. What else we got here? Gonna be installing some USB chargers. Oh, what else we got? Oh, and also we're gonna be installing a voltmeter for our Goldwing. Which, by the way, I want to show you this voltmeter. For whatever reason, Goldwing, Honda in their infinite wisdom, back with the 1500s and also the early generations 1800s, thought, why would we want to put a voltmeter on the bike? You know, we don't want to know if our battery goes dead on us before we leave Rock Springs and we get stuck at Point of Rocks. But now on the 1500, my solution, it worked, but it wasn't ideal, but it worked. But this one, if you've got one of the early 1800s, they actually make your little they make a little plate for it with a voltmeter in it. It replaces where your lock goes. But taking a look at this, I mean, this is a stout, like, you know, when I ordered it, I was like, okay, yeah, we'll see how fancy it looks. I mean, this is a stout, legit, like, heavy duty, like, nice voltmeter. So I'm really think that was worth the money. If I remember right, it's about 70 bucks on Wing Stuff, so I think it's gonna look good when it's all said and done. But first thing we do, take the battery off. Alright, so starting with the trunk, one thing I am going to do, now what comes with the setup is this little plug. It's got these little tension deals on them, but I've heard those aren't very, from people, those don't work very good. So I had another 12-volt plug. I'm going to use this one because, well, you see right here, I can screw it in there. I got a nut on that, I can screw it on. It's already set up. I just got to make sure I get the right colors to the right terminals. So that's basically just a simple upgrade I'm going to make. As you see, they fit right on there like they should. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use this, just a little upgrade. Like I said, I had this one laying around, so I'm gonna use it. But okay, so next thing we gotta do, let's get some light here. All right, obviously we gotta take all these screws off the trunk, and there's quite a few of them, so we're gonna pull that off next. Now when you're doing this, make sure you get these two little screws underneath the latches as well. I actually kind of didn't think about them until I was about to pull it off, so I put two screws back in just so I don't have an issue when it all comes out. Alright, so once you pull this trunk off, you're going to find, some of you are probably going to find this in here. I don't know exactly what the whole control box powers, but it powers something. But anyways, I'm gonna undo this, pull that off, and now I'm coming this other side. Actually gonna pull the harness on that, just so it's a little bit easier for me to drill a hole in there. Well, we got everything back together. You kind of have to put that plug right there. I was under the understanding there's a spot shown where to do it. Well, there isn't really a mark in the trunk like I've heard some say. Maybe that's what it is up in the front fairing pocket. But either way, basically we put that in there. It's around, that box is right here, but it seemed to work right there. So if you kind of drill it right there, you should be okay. It definitely was a little nerve-wracking when I was deciding where to put it, but got it in there, and I've hooked up the battery so I can show you that yes, it indeed works. See? That lit up. So there you go. And the nice thing about this plug is it's one you can kind of screw it in with. Notice how it doesn't move now? That's why I like that. I think that little plug's a good little plug. But anyways, it works, so time to put the next thing on. Alright, so we went ahead. I installed our power plug for my wife. I'm pulling hers straight off the battery because someday I may have a trickle charger for that, and that plug will work for it, so that's what I'm gonna keep that available for. A dish, and it doesn't get used all the time. And then I put the other power port, took it off the accessory, run the wire up under the housing here, now under the shelter. Now you're gonna have to unbolt a lot of it. You don't have to pull the whole thing off. I just lifted it up far enough where I could kind of slip the wire through, but you'll see I got the wire slipped through, and I'm gonna have the USB port right here. And then I'm gonna install my Goldwing my kit to make my cell phone come up over the speakers, which I'm gonna do right now before I put this all back together. And then I'll show you that voltmeter. Okay, so this piece we're gonna put in for the voltmeter, it goes right here. Now this little lock deal, when you pull this little box off, you gotta undo basically the end of that lock. You have to do that. Make sure you don't put that box back in and not reconnect the lock. I've heard it's something that happens a bit, but yeah, this part comes out. You actually put a screwdriver in there, pop that little tab off after you take off this outside part, which I'm not going to include. You pull that, and then we're going to put together the other piece. So this deal does not have any instructions with it, as in the instruction sheet is just a warning sheet. But here's what you got to do. You go in there, you go in this little, all them wires are actually in that little sock there. There's a red connector in there. You could probably barely see it there on the end of that. That red connection is what you're looking for. Once you find it, guess what? You found it. And then you still got a power connection if you need it. And let me tell you, I kind of think this thing looks pretty cool. Turn the key on. Look at that. Lights up red. That's pretty cool. Okay, well, voltmeter's in. We've got the audio, the 6-foot audio cable in. It reaches all the way over my phone, but I'm gonna put it here to my XM. Now we gotta power that XM. So power that, of course you gotta pull that pocket out. Here it is. And you'll notice this, unlike the trunk, actually has the little target for you. So both of them have a little target on them, and so that makes it pretty easy. We should have this done shortly. But there we go. We got XM. That's sweet. We're going to shut it off. It shuts off like it's supposed to. We turn it on. Kicks on like it's supposed to. The signal obviously isn't as good because, well, we're inside, but it works. We have this job done. Bike's all put back together. We got our power outlets installed. Power outlets installed. We got our audio input, GPS or USB plug. We got the USB plug for my wife. That's going to sit unplugged sometimes. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip tie that to there, and then she'll have it for us on long trips. When we go on trips, I'll zip tie it. Otherwise, like I said, everything's put back together. Everything works. So Another good day's work. Well, there you have it, everybody. Got our project done for the day. Not a bad little day. We started about 10 o'clock this morning. It's now just about 8 o'clock in the evening. To be fair, I took about a 3-hour break for a late lunch with my wife. But otherwise, she's all ready to go. We'll wait for a nicer day to come, and then we can take her out for a ride.